Well, Unicorn's heading off straight to the point and we're heading up Primrose Hill. She's decided to take the easier route today and we'll see her shortly.
Whoa! You've changed!
What do you mean?
Look at you, you've had a haircut!
What? You've got binoculars and white gear on. Where'd the binoculars come from?
I know I had sunglasses, but I don't remember the rest of it.
It's another time work, buddy. Oh man, that was wild.
Oh well.
Wonder where the unicorn is.
I've no clue. Oh, there she is there.
Oh, unicorn.
Hello.
We were a wee bit thrown off there, we didn't see you.
Sudden time warps can kind of mess up your brain.
We meet again. We meet again.
We meet again.
Hooray. What have you got? Aye, we kind of had a wee bit of a muddle up there, so we're going to do it again. Something kind of strange happened. The usual.
Usually it's travelling through time. I didn't realise it would be travelling through outfits as well.
Oh, wow. That was a bit of a rush.
Yeah, literally.
We were really dry up there.
Sun was beating down.
Yeah, we never took enough water. It was just so... I was like, Thought my mouth was a camel's hoof.
Not a unicorn's one?
Not a unicorn's one, no.
No, definitely not. Surprisingly, there were no biting insects or anything up there though in the sun.
Yeah, so how was your walk to here?
It was peaceful.
Peaceful?
And it was glorious scenery. And some very interesting things I can show you on the way back.
Cool.
Oh, perfect. It's a shame we can't drag you up the hill.
So we're walking back with the unicorn, we're walking back to Brenachoille Point. Again, we still haven't found out the exact pronunciation. But as we're walking along, look at the views we've got. There's one of the boats, again, out in the water. And we've got a lovely, well, we've got an old dilapidated boathouse, but it's still functional by the look of it.
I would assume so.
And a jetty, but look at that mountain, again, majestic.
Benvenue.
Benvenue? Benvenue.
Benvenue.
Benvenue. So we get wee glimpses every now and again, but the unicorn assures us that we've got something absolutely wonderful to view down here. I believe her.
Yes, me too.
So we've just reached a point where it's telling you it's 10.5 miles to Loch and 2 miles back to Trossachs Pier.
I think we'll be going left.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you fancy doing the 10.5 miles?
Not today, no.
Not today,
Definitely
no.
not.
Maybe on a bike.
Maybe on a bike, yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
I said, dear meat.
Aye, dear mate.
But no, nothing new.
We can't go in with wild
No
animals.
wild animals, get out.
Yaks and unicorns, we need to go. Right,
Get out.
come on, we need to go over this way. Deep water sparkling in the sun kind of reminds me of space.
Yeah.
Aye.
Reminds you of space? Aye, right, aye. Interesting.
It's like the stars.
Stars, points of light.
Yes. Not quite a dark enough blue right enough, but close.
Well, you look and they're all twinkling.
Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle, little star kind of thing.
Twinkle, twinkle.
And this is us just coming up to Brenachoille Point, or Brenachoille again. Sorry, we don't know what it's called.
I'm going to assume Brenachoille.
I would reckon Brenachoille. We'll have to ask someone.
I hope today isn't a yak sneeze day.
There we go, Bear,
What?
Yak. I've promised you something interesting.
And we've got it.
Well, here we are at the point, the moment of truth, unicorn.
The moment of truth.
Here we go.
See if it's interesting as you say.
I'm sure it will be.
We're gleaming with the setting sun, one burnished sheet of living gold. Loch Katrine lay beneath him rolled. In all her length far winding lay, with promontory, creek, and bay, and islands that, empurpled bright, floated amid the livelier light, and mountains that like giants stand, the sentinel enchanted land. High in the south, huge Benvenue, down on the lake in masses through, crags, knolls, and mounds, confusedly huddled, the fragments of an earlier world. A wildering forest feathered o'er, his ruined sides and summit hoar, while in the north, through middle air, Ben Ann heaved high, his forehead bare.
Here's some information now about the birthplace of Scottish tourism, which I must say is quite an interesting subject. One of the reasons why tourists come to Scotland today is to enjoy inspirational landscapes, and it's substantially due to Sir Walter Scott. In 1810, Scott published his epic poem, Lady of the Lake, set in the heart of the Trossachs. This poem became an instant worldwide hit, selling 25,000 copies within a year. The poem brought the romance and majesty of Loch Katrine to all corners of the world. It changed how people looked at the landscape and inspired other writers, artists and musicians to visit. Countless visitors followed in their footsteps, and so began Scottish tourism.
So, what do you think so far, guys?
I'm astonished. It's lovely.
It's nice.
It's absolutely gorgeous for that matter. Look at it. Benvenue again, it's just right there, you can't miss it. It's always coming into this video stuff.
Somehow I think it could be Benvenue.
Benvenue? Benvenue?
Benvenue.
They said Benvenue. We said
Benvenue.
Potato.
Benvenue could be the proper pronunciation.
Benvenue, maybe. Yeah.
The one language you don't mess with is Gaelic.
Wow, stunning, eh? So, what's the story here, Unicorn?
This is a place where they have
What?
they put in footsteps. They put in footsteps of all the different poets and artists that have walked and taken inspiration from this gorgeous landscape to write the books, paint the pictures, make the music, and you will see some of them just up ahead.
Well, more like their footsteps, but yeah.
Here you can see footsteps. These are meant to be the footsteps of the famous people that came here to enjoy the gorgeous landscape and to get inspiration for their writing, for their music, for their art. And some of them include John Ruskin, William Wordsworth, you have Horatio McCulloch, you have Sir Walter Scott.
And you can also stand in your own position and ponder on what you might be inspired to create or think of. Well, I know what my inspiration is. Food. I want to eat.
One person that's not mentioned on these discs, but this area was also a favourite of him, was the painter John Turner. He also came here and just made many paintings.
What is John famous for?
Landscapes, I think. As far as I know, I'd have to check that up to be sure, but I'm pretty sure it's landscapes.
What about Horatio McCulloch?
One of his paintings was on the board just up there, a painting of Loch Katrine.
And there's what else have we got?
Yeah.
This is connected to John Ruskin, who came here too. which is obviously connected to the bigger Turk, things that we've already done. William Wordsworth, one of the most famous poets in English literature. This one says it has a little excerpt from his Stepping Westward, which was, "The dewy ground was dark and cold, behind all gloomy to behold, and stepping westward seemed to be a kind of heavenly destiny."
I'm thinking myself, from what I can see here, I wonder how many people would actually be inspired as they come out to this point. And there's an invitation to you. Painters, writers,
Musicians.
poets, musicians, come and visit. See something absolutely wonderful. See what it brings you. See what comes to mind. See what your euterpe is. There's one for you to look up.
For a second there I thought I was being observed by a strange creature, but it's just the unicorn with binoculars.
You are being observed by a strange creature. It's called the unicorn.
While the unicorn basks on a rock, I'm going for a wander.
I come too.
See you soon. Somebody had a wee fire going.
At least it was controlled.
Yeah, makes a change. Anyway.
Reuse fire pits, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
No need to make more.
A wee bench. A big bench.
A bench.
A bench. That's a nice wee viewpoint. Shall we go down to the water's edge?
Yeah.
See what we've got. Certainly not getting any sand about here then, eh?
No, no chance.
Thought you going rock climbing?
Maybe.
Well, why not? Why not climb the small ones as well as the big ones?
It's actually quite a nice seat.
Eh?
Quite a nice seat actually.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'll give you a tenner if you make your way out to that one that's sitting there in the water.
Yeah, I can see the one. That would be quite a jump.
Dirty sunglasses.
Just a tad. These kind of white silvery stones up here as well.
Yeah. You could actually so easily spend hours just hanging around here.
Absolutely.
Especially in this kind of weather, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
For sure.
Boat coming back. Aye, there it is.
Excellent timing. That'll be
Unicorn. The lady of the lake again. And here she comes on one of her tours. Get a better view of her this time. once again Lady of the Lake off on a tour, and she'll be heading out to Brenachoille. Probably drop off some passengers and pick up some more and make her way back to the Loch Katrine pier again.
Yep. Where we're facing now and what you can see are the footsteps of Horatio McCulloch. This is the view that he is supposed to have had, and although I'm sure that back then it might have been very slightly different, it's still the same spirit. And in his painting, he captured these words: "The silence of the Highland wilderness where the wild deer roam." And you can imagine there'd be plenty of deer up there.
What we're looking at now is the vista that Sir Walter Scott quoted as "everything in art is but a copy of nature," and that is an excerpt from his book Rob Roy. This obviously inspired him to write that book. You can take from that what you will, but this is what he would have been looking at while he got his idea for writing the book.
Now you are roughly standing in the footsteps of John Ruskin, although we've had to move slightly as the trees that were there probably were not there way back then. But in this moment, standing here, chances are something came to mind which he would say in a later lecture on art and landscape. And here it is inscribed in the stone: "Art communicates an understanding of nature," which I suppose in a way is like an irony on the words of Sir Walter Scott.
The footsteps I'm standing in now would have belonged to Sir William Wordsworth, who wrote "Stepping Westward," an inspirational Loch Katrine rain. So I would imagine that when he wrote it, it was probably raining, although today it's sunny. And an excerpt from that is: "The dewy ground was dark and cold, behind all gloomy to behold, and stepping westward seemed to be a kind of heavenly destiny." And you can just imagine, I mean, it goes on. You can see for yourself. So it's just like mountains upon mountains upon mountains. I can imagine it would still be very beautiful in the rain. So, yeah.
The footsteps that you're standing in now, as in what you're facing, is basically for everyone else.
Your own reflection.
Exactly, your own reflection, and to see what inspires you to
Create.
The rippling water.
the hills,
Sparkling of the water.
the mountains,
Clouds in the sky.
the blue sky,
The wind.
blue-grey sky, the wind.
The smell.
Perhaps the sight of a boat passing by.
Big deep breath in. That wonderful fresh air.
The taste of the fresh air on your tongue.
You can't actually taste it. That
Yeah.
surprised me.
Yes.
I was nearly close to mentioning that T word again there.
You just soak it all in. You can take that image home with you.
Come and be inspired.
With that in mind, I'm going to read to you another excerpt of The Lady of the Lake by Sir Walter Scott. "The summer dawn's reflected hue to purple changed Loch Katrine blue. Mildly and soft the western breeze just kissed the lake, just stirred the trees, and the pleased lake, like maiden coy, trembled but dimpled not for joy."
And there's the yak. The insect love running around the yak. They just love to get the yak.
one of those days.
The insects love you, yeah.
I can tell.
Here we are, on our way home. It's been such a lovely day for us.
Did I promise you something interesting, or did I promise you something interesting?
Yes, you did. I got you fool's gold. I hope you
You
kept.
did, I've got fool's gold. Fool's gold.
Well, thank you very much.
My fool's gold. Give it back. Thank you.
Where'd you put the wee ones?
I've got the little
I've got the
ones
little ones too. Chuck them in pocket, and then you won't lose them.
here. Yeah, thank you.
You got the big one as well.
Big ones in.
Cool.
And this is us at the end of our trail. Well, we've still got all the way back to the pier to go.
But this is the end of your trail.
It's the end of your trail. So, I shall just say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Happy rainbows.
Bye.
Cue the outro.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us for the second part of our walk around Loch Katrine today. Well, whatever happened to the Bear and Yak up on that Primrose Trail, I wonder if we'll ever know. Anyway, when we got to the point, I hope you enjoyed learning about all the poets and artists that used the Trossachs and Loch Katrine in particular for inspiration for their works. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. This is the Unicorn signing off for just now. Happy rainbows!